Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Freaky Tales on this freaky Sunday evening. I want to thank everybody on the live chat, everybody who decided not to be on the live chat, everybody who's just at home watching, relaxing, tuning in. For those of you guys that are going to be tuning in tomorrow, when you guys probably get home from work or when you guys have a little bit more time. Other than that, if you guys didn't get a chance to check out Friday's episode, definitely go check it out. Mr. D was on there, and we talked about his reading. He had a Babalao do his reading. And he said some pretty exciting things, and some things that we discussed, some things that I questioned him on, some things that pretty interesting. And then the alien called in at the very end, and we had some very interesting phone calls. So make sure you guys check that out if you guys haven't gotten a chance to check it out. So without further ado, please allow me to introduce my special guest for today. He's been on here before. He's no stranger to Freaky Tales, and this is Ricky J.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Tony, thanks for having me, man.
Now, I'll introduce you as Ricky J, but I'll call you Rick during the show because
that's fine.
I don't like Ricky.
Okay.
So, anyways,
I'll call you Tone because we don't like Tony.
Right, exactly. Okay, first and foremost, how's your day been? Everything good?
Yeah, man. Bless. Can't complain.
Complaining is the devil's language.
And if I did, I feel like nobody cares, so
right,
it's all good.
Right. Check out my new mug, guys.
Yeah, I'm jealous of that one.
It's Showtime Beetlejuice.
That might come up missing.
Exactly. Okay. It might catch the rapture. It might get raptured up. Okay. First and foremost, once again, I don't know if you had a chance to check out. I had Mr. D here. He's been on my other podcast, but this was the first time he was on Freaky Tales, and he had a reading. Somebody, like, I guess, juggled some shells and threw them on. And actually, the interesting thing that I wanted you to listen to, well, not necessarily to debate or question him, but the shells had numbers.
Okay.
And however it came out, that guy, the Babalao is what he called them.
Babalao.
Yes.
Okay.
Would look it up in the scriptures.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? That's why I didn't want you to debate him or anything.
Yeah.
So it just makes interesting conversation. And he would read it from the Bible. So I'm thinking, how do you do that?
I think I can start a whole side hustle doing that with playing cards.
Yeah. Yeah, or Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
But anyways, Rick, I had something very, very interesting that I wanted to share. Today, I had a phone call from a friend, and this is how we're going to start it off. He called me today, and he told me that he kind of wanted to vent because this person that he's talking about just recently passed away. And he was telling me that he had did this person dirty.
Okay.
You know, he did something he shouldn't have done, and I don't want to say it. He told me I can actually share this story, just don't mention his name. He had did this person dirty, and this person, I guess, cut him off, didn't talk to him for a few months. And then he found out that this guy had a car accident and he died. Okay. So now he is saying, I have to live with that guilt. I have to live with that regret.
Yeah.
Because I did him wrong. And I pretty much told him, like, what did you do? I asked him.
Yeah.
And in short, this is what he said. I didn't steal anything that was physical of his, but I stole something of his. So that I go, okay, so you didn't take like a speaker, a sound system, a laptop? And he said, no. He said, I stole his idea and I made money off of it.
Intellectual property.
Yes. Okay. And I never thought about it like that, that is stealing.
Yeah.
That is stealing. In the hip hop world, what do we say? Biting.
Yeah.
Okay. And he goes, he had his whole idea. He wanted me to join with him. He goes, he wasn't able to get the money, but I was able to get the money first. So I just went ahead and did it. And I X'd him out. He goes, and, we got into it really bad. And I was pretty much saying, oh, he's just hating. He's just hating because I'm winning. And I was like, but you weren't winning.
Yeah.
He said, no, I was making money. He goes, but the guilt was eating me alive. And I knew, I had told my wife that eventually I got to tell this guy that I'm sorry and include him in.
Yeah, that would have been the right thing to do, in my opinion.
The right thing to do. So what happened was, he said that this guy got into a car. Somebody hit him head on. and killed him instantly.
Wow.
So he said this, and this is where I get my idea for today's show. I asked him, if you had an opportunity to speak to him right now, if you had 5 minutes to get on the phone with him and talk to him, would you? And he stood quiet for a long time, and it hit him hard. And he said, I would want to, but I don't think I can. And I said, why is that? He goes, it's because he's gone, man. What good is it to tell him now? And I thought that was a tough question. I thought that was a good answer, but it's tough. So my question is this.
Imagine the closure if he decided yes, though, that he would. That if he could, he would. The closure that he would have, being able to say, I'm sorry.
Rick, let me ask you a question, and I'm asking it pretty much in general to everyone, okay, that's watching.
Answer in the comments.
Yeah. And Alex, maybe you can write it down after I ask it, okay? If you had an opportunity to talk to a friend, a loved one, like a brother or sister, or maybe even a mother or a father that had been deceased, and you only had 5 minutes to speak to them, possibly for closure, possibly just to tell them you missed them, you love them, or just to hear their voice, would you? In other words, Alex, if you had the opportunity to speak to a deceased loved one, would you? Okay? And then we'll come back maybe in about 30 minutes.
And I got a couple questions I want to ask about.
Okay, say that somebody presented that opportunity to you and said, on this cell phone right now, you can speak to your friend, your loved one, your mother, your father that passed. You got 5 minutes.
Yeah. See, and I'm being honest, you guys can't see it, but my heart rate's going up thinking about this question, because here's my question for you then. Would I know in the conversation, let's say I believe in heaven or hell, would I know where they ended up if I got this chance to speak to them?
Okay, now I would say I'm the guy that's giving you the opportunity, right? Say that at this point, I'm going to give you two options. You tell me which one you could take. You want. Would you want to know if they're in hell?
Well, that's what determines whether or not I'd want to know if. That's why it's a tough question for me. Because, like, let's say there's people that died in my life where I'm like, I want to believe they're in heaven. And then I get this chance to talk to them, and you just hear, like, torment in the background of the phone call.
Would you want to hear that?
No, not even a little bit.
Okay, so you want to know if they were in heaven, then you would yes. If they were in hell, you would probably say no.
If that was possible, yeah.
Right, if that was possible. Yeah. So let's just say that this person, whoever offers you this opportunity, tells you this. That cannot be answered, but you will be able to speak to them.
But that also means I will be able to find out either way where they ended up.
Say you asked a loved one.
Yeah.
Where are you? But let me ask you this. Is that really important? Would that really be important to you?
I think if I care about the afterlife, yes.
Okay. Fair enough. I think that's a fair enough. Me personally, I don't think I would want to know. Because say that I put myself in the shoes of this individual that did his friend dirty, right? And I get a chance to talk to him, first and foremost, to be able to hear his voice.
Yeah.
Okay. And maybe to ask him what exactly happened. You know, I was driving through the street. This guy ran a red light, drunk driver smashed into me, and I died instantly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what if you might not want to know, but just based off the phone call, you would know.
Right. But almost like without asking.
Yeah, let's just say, hypothetically, they go into a happy place. They're going to be happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Okay, so now...
It's a wild question when you really think about it.
Yeah, so I asked him, would you have the opportunity to talk to him and to make things right? And he, of course, he said, can I make things right? Would that be possible? Because obviously he's still hurting.
Yeah. I think if you could make things right, if it was possible, then yeah, make things right. I would want the opportunity to make things right.
Can you imagine if he told you it doesn't matter now? You did what you did. Not guarantee you that you would get closure. Oh
yeah, that's the flip side of it.
Yeah. Now you're taking, and it's because of you that I suffered. It's because of you. Can you take that? Would you be able to bear with and live on knowing that this person possibly didn't forgive you?
Yeah, because you could tell the dude, bro, you stressed me out so much by doing this to me. I wasn't paying attention, and I veered off into the next lane.
Right.
That's a deep thought when you think about it. I know naturally a lot of people in the comments are probably going to say yes because they're thinking about someone that they love that passed away. But when you really weigh the options that come along with this question, I lean more towards no. I just I'd rather not talk.
I would rather not talk.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I'm gonna get closure with someone, I'd rather just leave it alone. And if I would rather not, I would rather just let it go. I'll give you an example. And then he kind of flipped it on me and he said this. I see you on the podcast that sometimes you talk about your brother, your mother, your father.
Yeah.
And he made it personal, okay? And
yeah.
I get very emotional whenever it comes to my mother and my father.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, if you had the opportunity to talk to either one of them, would you? And I said, no. And he said, why not? And I said, because I already said my goodbye.
Okay.
You know, when I spoke at my brother Mario's funeral, that was my goodbye.
Okay. So in your paradigm, they don't have to be living present in the moment for you to have closure with your goodbye.
Right.
Okay.
Because I got closure.
I think that's healthy.
Yeah. Yeah. There's been times that I've spoken to friends and I've kind of broken down when it came to my mother because I missed her so much. Okay. And there's people that have told me, oh, you need to heal from that. You need to heal from that. But here's one thing that I've learned. At my age, no, I don't know if I ever will. And I don't know if in that area I want to, because I don't believe that needs healing, at least for me. I just feel that I just get emotional because I love her so much.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, because some people have told me, you don't feel you need to go talk to a psychiatrist? Or,
oh my God.
No, I don't.
I kind of feel like shrinks make things worse sometimes.
Well, all they do, let's be honest, they get paid just to listen to you.
Yeah, dude.
You know, first and foremost, I told my buddies whenever they want to talk to me,
yeah,
I'm a good listener, bro. That's
Same.
it.
I think I am as well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a good listener. One thing that I never do, Rick, when people tell me things that they've done, I don't ever embarrass them by saying, no way, are you serious? Oh my God, you did that? I never do.
And I also don't try to judge them harshly.
Look, a lot of people, when they do certain things, they act out on impulse.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they end up regretting it. And I understand. I had people tell me things, Rick, that later on they've called me and told me I'm sorry. And I believed them.
Yeah. So you're telling me people are human.
Yes, it's okay to be human.
Yeah, guys, it's fine.
You know, but and now as far as like my brother Mario, I said my goodbye when it came to my mother's. I didn't want to speak because I don't think words could have came out. You know, I was just in tears the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, it kind of like haunts you in a sense, and I'll use that word for lack of better words, when you know you weren't a good son.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're no longer here. You know, I'm going to say something to you. I'm going to say something to you, Rick, and I'm going to say it in front of everybody here. Okay. First and foremost, if your mother and your father are still alive, and I'm going to say it this way, because some people have told me, do I still have to honor my mother and my father, even though they were mean to me? You know, so I ask them to define mean. And the majority of the time, not all the time, but the majority of the time, they were being parents because they loved you.
Yeah. That I was going to ask, I don't want to cut you off, but I figured
Right.
It was just them parenting
Right.
and looking out for the best interests of their children.
Right. And then there's our parents that did harm, or if I could even say it this way, touched their kids inappropriately. And I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. They've asked me, do I honor them? And I said, well, the way I was raised is that you honor your mother and your father if they are honorable.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is why I don't just tell any woman or any man, Happy Father's Day or Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah.
When I posted on social media, Happy Father's Day to all the honorable fathers. Happy Mother's Day to all the honorable mothers.
Yeah, there's nothing that bothers me more than a deadbeat.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then here we have guys that are like, well, I brought you into this world. I had a son. Look, bro, rats and roaches can reproduce.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone can get their noodle wet.
Yeah. So my thing is like, no, did you raise them? Because ultimately, you want to know the truth. If you want to ask, if you really want to know something about a certain individual, ask their kids.
Yeah.
They'll tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Ask their kids.
My wife is, she's an elementary school teacher. And kids have no filter. So they say things that go on in their household, and you guys would be blown away at some of the things I hear.
Yes. And they're just being kids.
Yeah, they don't know any better. And other kids are laughing, you know what I mean, at what the other kid said. And I'm just like jaw dropped because I decided to be a good husband and take my wife a matcha. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just hear all this stuff coming out of kids' mouths. I'm like, oh my God.
You know what? And I'm going to tell you, please be careful in front of your kids, especially if you curse.
Oh, yeah.
Be very, very careful. And I'm going to tell you one last thing before we continue on to our subject. There's an elementary school, I won't say which one.
Okay.
I want to say maybe about 15 to 20 years ago. It was around that long ago.
Okay.
When I was in elementary school, they used to bring in like a police officer or detective, and he would give us a slideshow of drugs or what's bad, what's wrong. This is marijuana. This is cocaine. This is coca leaves, etc. About 15 to 20 years ago, at elementary here in the city of Wilmington, they were showing marijuana plants.
Okay.
And they were showing buds. Okay. And this one kid raised up his hand because one of the detectives said, have any of you guys seen this? And this kid said, yeah.
That was detective being a detective, huh?
Yeah. My dad has those, a lot of them in the backyard. Okay.
Yeah.
And guess what? They ended up arresting his father. Now, is he a snitch? Do you blame that kid? No.
He's innocent.
He told the truth, and what he saw at his house.
Yeah.
Of course, a lot of you guys say, wow, that kid gave it up. I think he was in 3rd grade. And I guess he was raising his hand, being happy he's participated in something, but he participated obviously in the father's wrongdoing.
Yeah.
I know people disagree with me, but to me, I don't care. People may say, well, it's just weed. No, to me, that's a drug still. To me, that's a drug. So
it is.
Okay, so anyways, back to what I was saying. So he asked me, would you talk to your mother, your father, your brother? And I said, no. I said, I don't really have anything that I would want to ask them anymore. I know my mother loved me. I loved her. And if there's any loved ones out there that I've lost unexpectedly, mostly in the 80s, I had a lot of friends that took themselves out or were smoked in gang violence. Okay, a lot of them. And I've been to a lot of funerals. A guy that hung himself, and one of the worst things I still saw the burn marks on his neck.
No way.
Yeah, I still saw the burn mark. I didn't think that was real, honestly. I saw that in a Clint Eastwood movie.
Which one?
Where they hung him. I think it was Hang 'em High. They hung him, and then they took him down.
Yeah.
But throughout the movie, he still had the burn marks, okay? Yeah. I thought that was just in movies, but no, that was in real life. This guy took himself out. So I asked myself today, would I want to talk to any of them? No, but I will tell you this, that I dream a lot. And in my dreams, I've had opportunities to talk to deceased loved ones.
In your dreams?
In my dreams. I'm going to share this one with you guys, okay? You guys hear me talk a lot about Steve Yano, my ex-manager.
Yeah.
He's Japanese, okay?
The Rhodium.
Yeah, the Rhodium. His wife, Susan Yano, asked me to speak at his funeral. He had a big funeral, there was like 500 people there. To me, that's pretty big, and if not more. And Dr. Dre was supposed to show up, and he didn't. Instead, he just sent flowers. And to me, I went public with that, and I said, shame on you, Dre, for not showing up. This man was a friend of yours, put money in your pocket, etc.
Yeah. Okay.
So I went up there and I spoke, and I didn't have nothing scripted. I just said what was in my heart, and what's in my heart is what came out. That other than my mother and my father, this man was closest to me. Okay. So I've never dreamt of him. And it was last week. Oh my God, I get emotional because I saw him and I hadn't seen him in years. Okay. I'm at a park, and one thing about him, he loved playing basketball, big time Lakers fan, and he was actually a coach for women's basketball, high school girls. And I saw him, and he's shooting hoops at a park, and it's at night, and he looks kind of sweaty, and I walk up to him, and his eyes make contact with me, and he looks away. But it was weird because he looked so young. He looked younger. Like he looked rejuvenated, And it's funny because the majority of the people that I believe went to heaven in my dreams always look so much younger.
Really?
Yes, it's weird. But so I saw him, and he looks at me, and he turns away, and he's walking away with the basketball. And I said to myself, I know he's not here, but this is my opportunity to talk to him. In my dream, I said that. I have those kind of dreams. So I walked up to him, and he was talking to a bunch of people, and I tapped him like this on his shoulder. And he turns around, and he says, Tony. And I was like, hey, what's up, Steve? And you know what I wanted to do, and I did it. I wanted to give him a high five because I saw him playing basketball, and I saw him sweating. I wanted to touch his sweaty hand. I just wanted to touch him.
Really?
Yes. So I said, what's up, Steve? And he went like this. He gave me a high five like this, and I felt his hand. And I was like, okay, it's him. So as we're walking, I said, how's the family? I didn't want to tell him he was deceased. I think he knew. Well, what it was, it was almost like he looked at me like, what are you doing here? Okay?
Yeah.
So then I said, Steve, how's the family? He goes, it's good. And he wouldn't really make eye contact. He was bouncing his ball, walking with me. And he goes, how's your family? I said, it's doing good. And he was like, okay, well, I'll see you around. I said, okay, Steve, hopefully I'll see you later. He goes, yeah, see you later. And he just walked away.
But he didn't really make eye contact with you?
No.
Why do you think that is? Was he like that as a person?
No.
Oh.
No, not at all. But then again, when I dream about my mother, she never talks to me.
She never says anything.
Nothing. When I dream of loved ones, nothing.
You know what's funny? I don't dream much. My wife dreams a lot. And one time I was going through a lot, you know what I mean? And my wife, we were dating at the time, and she said she had a dream. She was like, "Hey, I had a dream, and I just remember seeing you like." Even I get emotional thinking about it. She's like, I just remember seeing like you were younger, but I saw a man like kind of drilling you.
Yeah. And
he was just like, hey, you can handle this. Like you're strong and all this stuff, right? And she's like, and he was like, you know, he was an old man, and he was wearing a Dodger hat. His hair was white, hanging out the back.
Yeah.
It was literally my grandfather, who she's never met.
Wow.
Who's passed. Everything he was wearing is exactly what my grandfather always wore.
There's a lot of things that when me and Jess talk about, like there's a lot of similarities with everything that I go through. Like she dreams a lot, I dream a lot. I dream every night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So does she.
There's been times where, and this has to do with loved ones, that I dreamt of loved ones that are sad. And I walk up to them and I try to comfort them in my dream. And they won't speak because they're hurt, they're sad. So what I do when I wake up, I give it a little bit of time and I call this person. And the majority of the time they're going through something.
Do you, just kind of going back to the dream of Steve Yano, do you think that in those dreams you have a real window to that person in real time, like in a different dimension?
I think so. That's just me. Rick, can I prove it? No. But having so many dreams back to back like that, and a lot of them when I see the loved ones that are deceased, I'll give you an example. And for those of my friends that are watching, I hope that this doesn't bother you that I share this story, because this was about a friend that took himself out on the phone while he was talking to his girlfriend.
No way.
Yes, and he, the nature of the call was, I'm moving on. I don't want to be with you anymore. We ran our course and I moved on type of deal. I won't say his name, but he put a gun in his mouth and blew his brains out. Okay. I used to spend the night at his house, and we would look at his trading cards, I think I was like 19, 20 at the time. And we used to go get menudo. We used to get drunk at night and get menudo in the morning and come back, watch TV. Like he was a sports guy, and he loved his girl. And he's not the only one that's done that. I've had several friends that have done that. Another guy that put a gun to his forehead when his girlfriend told him, I cheated on you and I'm moving on. Okay. True stories. And so I would cry myself to sleep like a lot of my friends when it came to this particular one. And one day I prayed and I asked God to please let me speak to him.
Yeah.
Please let me speak. And I ended up having a dream that night. That night, he picked me up. He picked me up in the van at my house, and he got in the car, and he said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he talked to me. And I said, "Nothing, let's just go for a ride." So the whole time I'm sitting passenger, and I'm just looking at him because I know he's gone, and this is my opportunity.
It is. So do you think, what is this? I always hear this thing. It's called like intercession. Is that the same concept that you would think of?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Was this just a dream, or was this God giving me closure to this person? Because maybe me not getting closure from not talking to him can possibly affect me. You know, there's a lot of people that, for an example, if you're a God-believing person, you blame God for everything.
Yeah.
You know, if you're blessed with a new job, thank God. If you get fired, God, why did you do this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. That's not, yeah. You say blame God, and I thought you meant it more negative, but no, that can be,
right.
Yeah, because you would be blaming God in that regard, but you're just really
right.
trying to figure out what he's trying to do.
Right. So, did God give me this opportunity? I don't know, but because I never dreamt of him after that, but just that night. So we're just cruising around, and I remember where we were going. I remember where he dropped me off at my literal house where I was living at. And he drops me off. He goes, "All right, I'll see you later." And I remember I said, "Will I?"
Really?
Yeah. And he says, "I got to go. See you later, bro." And I was like, okay. And when I woke up, I woke up really, really sad, you know? But was that my opportunity? Possibly. But he's no longer here. So now if I was given that opportunity to talk to him, would I? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Do you think that people that are gone can, you know, you always hear the saying, "I know you're looking down on us," kind of, do you think that that's happening?
I think they can.
Okay.
I think they can.
Why do you just opinion?
Look, if I say where I get my resources from, my information from, people are going to say that I'm turning this channel into a religious channel. I got scripture that can prove that.
Okay.
Okay. But
I'm not take your word for it.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll show you after.
Okay.
I'm not going to go into that, but I do believe that there are loved ones that are, if for lack of better words, cheering you on, like kind of like your grandpa, the way he was encouraging you.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm a hard-headed dude, so she said he was kind of talking to me, drilling me.
You ever seen that movie Contact with Jodie Foster?
No, but I've heard of it.
Okay. It kind of builds up, and then it just kind of falls. So after years of later, I watched it again and I understood it. Yeah. I understood. I didn't understand it then. So she goes into this dimension and she meets the creator. But supposedly the creator in this movie, supposedly, okay? And the creator comes to her as her father.
Really?
And he says, not that he's the creator, but this is the only way you would communicate with me without being scared. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that changes everything then.
It does change everything.
Because any dream that you could have had could have been, quote unquote, the creator.
Right.
Using that silhouette, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
As a means of communication.
Right. So now, after talking to him about that, I thought about something in the 80s and 90s when a child went missing. When a child got kidnapped, when a child got abducted by somebody. When we would eat cereal, we would always have you seen me?
Yeah, I've heard of that. I don't think that was around when I was a kid, though.
Okay, yeah, and they would. So now you're seeing a child.
It was on milk cartons too, right?
Milk cartons, yeah, everything. Billboards, and they were saying that the majority of the kids that are lost never get found. Okay, now I was working at Ralph's at the time, and my days off were either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, never Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, never, because I didn't have that much seniority. So my days off usually were Tuesday, Wednesday.
Okay.
I went to a place called Spires to go eat breakfast, and I was always blessed because there was a men's group that would have Bible study in there. Okay. So I always got to hear the word. And this is when newspapers was so, this was early 2000s, maybe 2003, 2004. I picked up a newspaper because they had it there. And there was a father that released I guess like a generated photo of his son, who was probably 5 or 6 years old, of what he would look like now. Okay.
It was a sketch?
No, it was possibly AI.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Something of that source. Okay.
Yeah.
So, make a long story short, he said that he drove up to the hills here in LA, some camping site. And I believe it's either late 60s or early 70s. He drove up in a station wagon with his younger son in the front and his older son in the back. His older son was about 11, 12 years old. His younger son was like 5 or 6.
Okay.
So when they got to their camping site, man, the story broke my heart, bro. He gets to the camping site, and this son, the youngest son, runs out. Like he's done before. He kind of knows the area. And the father says, go get your brother. The father's getting the stuff out. Maybe like 15 minutes later, the younger son comes back, and he says, I don't know where he's at. I can't find him. And he said, what do you mean? Go find him. It was only been 15 minutes. He went. Maybe 15 minutes later, I don't know where he's at. So the father didn't think anything of it. Let's go look for him. It was 2002, 2003. The father's still looking for him.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
If you got kids, you guys can feel.
You would understand.
Yeah.
So they put a picture of him when he was a kid. Bro, let me tell you something, man. It really broke my heart. And they kind of like a generated picture of him, what he would look like now. Have you seen him? They searched everywhere. What somebody came up with, and I don't remember the name of the serial killer, but they were saying around that time, there was a serial killer that would camp in those areas. But they don't know that for sure because they never found a body.
So, right place, wrong time kind of thing.
Yeah, and then when I read it, that the kid opened the door and he ran through some bushes. Like he knew where he was going. Like, let me just go play. And the father, hey, go get your brother. Opened up the back of the station wagon, started getting the stuff. 15 minutes later, I can't find him. So my thing was this. I'm trying to make sense of it. I'm like, if it was a serial killer, he must have been around the corner or around those bushes when he saw that kid run.
He was just waiting.
I mean, maybe he just fell into his lap, saw him run by, walked with them, grabbed them, took them.
Maybe, yeah. He was probably waiting he knows families go camping there, and he's just waiting to see if there was going to be a kid waiting.
Oh, man.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on your kids, guys.
So here's my question.
Kids go missing now more than ever, too.
Yes. So here's my question, Rick.
EJ.
If more of a question for you guys, if you lost your son in that manner and they never found him and you had 5 minutes to speak to him, would you?
Oh, man, dude. I didn't think this podcast would be this emotional. That's, I just think I got 4 children, dude. Yeah. I got 3 sons and a girl. I can't fathom. I drive home, right? Or just going throughout the day. And you think about your kids all the time.
Right.
Your kids are all adults. I'm sure you still think about them every day.
Right.
And I just think like how heartbroken I would be if anything happened to them.
I still tell my kids, I love you. I still text my girls, I love you.
Oh, I tell my kids this all the time. My oldest sons are they're getting older. I have an 11-year-old, 9-year-old. I said, hey, I love you guys. Oh, I love you too, Dad. Hey, do I tell you guys too much? I asked them.
Right.
There you go. You tell us a lot, but I was like, okay, good.
Right.
As long as you know.
Right. I had a friend that buried his 5-year-old son.
Oh.
And I asked him, how do you deal with it? And he told me like this: the pain never goes away. You just learn how to deal with it.
That's what I would think.
Yeah.
I feel like a piece of you dies.
And I told him like this. I asked him, did you at all turn to anything to numb the pain? And he said, I couldn't, because I had to lead my wife. I had to be the strong one.
Dude, I got to tell you, honestly, guys, if you're watching, I've been on this podcast 3 or 4 times, I guess. All the stuff we've talked about, this is freaking me out more than anything. The thought of this stuff when you have children is devastating.
Okay, I'm going to share with you guys a story right now. And this was just told to me this year.
Okay.
Okay, so if I have loved ones watching right now, you guys know who you are. You guys mean the world to me. Just understand that what I'm about to share, I just learned this year. And it blew my mind. Okay. There was a man that was married. And at the time, he had 3 kids, 3 boys. Okay. The youngest boy that was 1 year old. And he got sick. So he stayed home with the 2 older boys, and he told his wife to take him to the doctor, see what's wrong with him. So his wife took the youngest son to the doctor, and they waited at home. The father and the sons waited at home, anxiously waiting for some good news for their brother to come back. Okay. Well, the father sees his wife coming empty-handed into the house. The 2 older brothers were saying, where is he? Where is he? And the mom looked at the father and just said no. And the father left, and from that point on, he became a drunk. He would go on missing for days, sometimes sleeping under bushes, because he was lost. Okay? Because he lost a loved one. And I'm going to tell you this, Rick. You know who that was?
Are you asking me?
That was my mother and my father. Okay? So I have a brother that I've never met. Now, if somebody were to ask me, would you want to talk to him right now? No. No. Because I'll tell you why, because I believe I'll see him one day. So that's good news.
Yeah, that's the good news.
That's the good news, knowing that one day you'll see them again. You know, it's funny because at times when you go to people's funerals,
yeah,
all the pamphlets said the same thing. We'll be together again one day.
Yeah.
Like, but honestly, I've always been the one to say, will I? You know, will I be able to see them again?
It's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah. So it's tough, man. But yeah, I shared that story because I didn't know it. And my older brother shared it with me. And he said, I'm going to tell you something that they didn't know. And I said, okay. He said, because I knew our father. He never used to drink before he drank. And then after he started drinking, you only knew the father that drank. And I'm going to tell you why he drank. So for years, he just tried to numb the pain.
That's awful, man. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah. So a lot of times, either you're a woman or you're a man or you're a friend, and you look at certain people and you say, look at that drunk or look at that idiot. Let me tell you something. You don't know what that person is going through.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
okay.
Yeah. You remember, I mean, it's a side story, but do you remember Black Panther? Right? The actor,
yes.
Chadwick Boseman. That was his name.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Do you remember when people were railing him because someone took a picture of him walking and he was rail thin?
Very, very frail.
Yeah, he looked like he was dying for a role.
Yes.
And then he dies, maybe 6 months later, he had cancer.
He had cancer, and people were roasting him on how terrible he looked.
Yeah.
And then the world was over here judging him for how he looked.
Yeah. You
don't know what a person is going through.
Yeah. It's sad. Like when I think about that story, it sucks. Because I remember seeing an interview of him. They're like, man, so how about Black Panther, 2 and 3? And he goes, oh, I'm dead in the interview.
Really?
Yeah. And he says it like the character's dying off.
Okay.
Like it was a twofold, but he was talking about himself. And she was like, no, we don't want Black Panther to die. He goes, oh, but I'm dead.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
Okay. Let's take it another way. Let's just say that, kind of to like when my friend earlier had told me that he had stole his idea and he wanted to make things right, but this guy ended up dying on a freak accident. Would you call him to make things right? No. I would just have, I guess, repented of it and moved on because he's no longer here instead of bothering him with that, in the afterlife. That's just me. Have you ever been accused of doing somebody dirty?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
was it real?
No, I've never been. I know people probably gonna find it hard to believe in general because everyone's kind of dirty, but I've never been that kind of an individual.
Right. Look, I'll be honest with you guys.
I just wasn't raised that way. Whenever
I did somebody, and it was mostly talking. It wasn't like I've never been like a thief.
Yeah, me either.
As a matter of fact, I'll tell you when I learned my lesson. Okay. Right here in the city of Wilmington on Avalon, there's a store called John's Liquor. And I think I was like in 3rd grade. And I remember, this is how young I was because I walked to the liquor store with my brothers. I was barefooted. When kids just throw off their shoes. And
you were that kid, dude?
Yeah. So
his feet flapping everywhere?
Yeah. So I went and my feet were dirty. Like I stepped in soda and dirt. Okay. And I walked. But one thing I didn't realize, that there was a mirror on the
oh yeah, those bubble mirrors, dude. That's how they catch you.
Yeah, so I was looking like this, and I grabbed a pack of balloons and I stuck them in my butt huggers. Okay, so I walk out, and the scariest feeling I got. I walked out, we're getting ready to cross the street, and I'm like, I'm almost home. I turn around, and the guy walks out. He's tall, dude, and he looks at me and goes like this, and I was like, okay. So then he told me like this. He said, "What do you have in there?" I could have easily have said, I'm a kid, I don't have anything. They didn't have cameras. He couldn't have searched me. He said, take it out. So I took it out, and he said, we're going to call your parents. And they called my mom. She came. And let me tell you something, I got my ass beat.
Yeah.
She pulled my hair, smacked my ass, and you know what? I had it coming. Today, that's child abuse.
Yeah, no, I might. Yeah.
So I learned my lesson in stealing, that I'm not a good thief. Okay? The majority of the time, I've had to ask people for forgiveness. It's because I cussed those bastards out. Okay?
So you did wrong is what you're saying.
Yeah, I did wrong. See, but here's the thing. You always get accused of the reaction. They never own up to what triggered you to react that way.
Yeah.
It's always, you did this to me. You said this to me. You hurt me. And I would apologize, hoping that they would say, look, I know what I said was wrong too. And I own up to it, and I'm sorry. I know that's what triggered you, But they don't do that. It's always just your reaction.
Yeah, it's your fault, always.
Yeah, so I had to apologize to one guy for cussing his ass out. And then I said, okay, and he was like, what? I said, you don't remember what you said to me that made me say that? I go, that was a response to what you said. I don't even remember now, but at least you apologized. Well, you know what you do? I don't have nothing to do with those people ever again. You apologize, move on, that's it.
Is it hard for you to apologize?
No. And I'm going to tell you why. One time, somebody told me that they thought I was bipolar. And I'm going to tell you why. Got into an argument with some guy over business. Over money. Okay? What we agreed to. But when the money came, he felt he deserved more. And we didn't agree to that. Okay? So I cussed his ass out, and I was about to whip his ass. I'm being honest with you. He gets really scared. I walk away and go inside the house. I'm angry. Look, I'm going to tell you what I live by. Be angry, but sin not. Do not let the sun come down on your anger. It's okay to be angry, but don't be angry all day. Don't let the sun come down on your anger.
Yeah, because then you're just bitter.
Yes.
And bitterness, here, I heard someone say this. I don't mean to cut you off, Tony, but bitterness, someone said this, and it always stuck with me. Bitterness is like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies.
Say that again for the people in the back.
Bitterness, listen back there. Bitterness is like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. So it eats you alive.
Yes.
It really does. I'm not a bitter person because of that. Like, you learn to forgive. You learn to move on. You learn to walk with peace, right? But when you're bitter, dude, it literally, like, it makes you sick sometimes. You know what I mean? It makes you, like, just angry.
It does. So you know what I did? In less than maybe 10 minutes, I forced myself, and this is just my life, I forced myself to pray about it.
Yeah.
And I asked God to forgive me for the way I reacted. I asked God to forgive me for the way I know it was wrong. I had to ask him for forgiveness. So I had to repent.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was about 10 minutes. I get up, and now I have peace. I have a smile on my face.
Yeah.
I walk back in here, and I told the guy, all good, you got it. And he goes, are you okay, man? And I was like, why? And he goes, are you like bipolar or something? Because you were just wanted to kill me like 10 minutes ago. And I said, no, I had to learn how to let it go.
So it resolved itself in you giving him what you guys were arguing about?
For me, on that situation, yes.
Yeah.
On that situation.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
And I'm going to tell you this. When we got the money and I gave him his portion, you know what happened? He gave me back my end and he said, you're right, we didn't agree to this.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah, that's honorable in my opinion.
Yes.
Yeah.
He gave it back and he said, you were right. And I understand why you got angry. So you know what I said? Are you bipolar?
He admits it, yes.
Look, if you don't learn to forgive quickly and move on, it's going to turn into bitterness, bro. And guess what? You're going to be miserable. Everything's going to trigger you. Everything's going to make you mad. Everything's going to make you sad. Everything's going to make you cry out of anger.
And what makes it worse is that you're going to look at the other person and realize that they're fine. That alone is going to drive you insane. You're going to see this person was able to fill up their car with gas, and it's going to bother you because you can only fill your car up halfway. And then it's just going to eat you alive because you're going to have to take a bike to work.
Hey, you know what? Okay. That's said and done. I want to say this. And this is we're talking about deceased loved ones, okay?
Yeah.
And this is a message to you guys out there. Let's not wait and think about, if I had a phone, would I talk to my deceased loved ones? Talk to them now. At my brother's, I guess the funeral that he had, you were there. And I went up there and I spoke.
Yeah.
I said this, why do we have to wait for them to be gone, for them to say, I love you? Everybody's coming up here saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, I've always loved you. Why don't you tell them while they're alive? It might change his heart or her heart. It might change the way they look at you because you say, he started it, she started it. Maybe both of you guys started it.
Yeah, and honestly, believe it or not, 85% of the time, there's just some kind of misunderstanding in the middle of it.
It is.
And you're like, oh, I thought you were saying this. No, dude. But then you said this, so I said that. Right. And it's just a huge misunderstanding that just results in bitterness.
Yeah. So let's not wait for them to be gone, for us to express how much we love them or how much we miss them. Let's love them now because look, tomorrow's not promised. And let me tell you something. I'm not going to try to pick up the phone and say, hey, are you there? I would rather resolve it now and not feel like I have to make that phone call or if I was given that opportunity.
Yeah, that's a scary opportunity.
Yeah. So
that's a freaky opportunity.
It is. Alice, do you want to go ahead and read us how long has it been up there, please? The poll. Okay, go ahead and give us the results.
Okay, the question is, if you could talk to a deceased loved one, would you? 41% said yes, and 59% said no.
Oh wow! Honestly, I would have thought there would be more more yeses. I genuinely would have.
Wow. Okay, well, you know what?
You have a smart. You have a pretty. Your audience is good.
Yes, they are. Freaky tale audience. Yeah. Okay.
Especially the fake ones.
The fake accounts.
Yeah, they're
we're going to open up the phone lines in a little bit. I'm going to ask you guys this question. And if so, tell us why. And if it's yes, tell us why. If it's no, tell us why. Okay. We're going to try to keep the.
And Alien, if you're listening.
Call in.
Yeah. Tell us what happens in your.
Right.
Your paradigm.
Now, earlier you brought up something and you said, would I get to know if they're in heaven or hell?
Yeah.
My thing is this. If you had a loved one, let's just say a brother, sister, cousin, uncle, aunt, mother, father, or a close friend, and this is hard to ask, but they passed, would you really want to know where they're at?
No, not right now. No.
Right.
Yeah, but that's why with the phone call thing, I feel like it's inevitable. Like you can't. I don't think I'd be just being logical, and obviously
Right.
it's a hypothetical. I can't picture myself calling someone that passed away, and hey, how you doing? I ask them,
Right.
and if they say honestly,
I'm in torment.
I'm in torment, that gives me chills thinking about it.
Right.
Because you know why they're in torment.
Right. You know, there's a woman, a Jamaican woman. I think she's Jamaican. She could be from anywhere else, but she said that she had a dream. Now, these are, again, I don't have any proof that this story is real. I saw it on YouTube, just like I saw it with a bunch of other things, but a bunch of other testimonies of people that claim they've gone to hell.
Yeah.
Okay. This woman said this, and she was so passionate about it. That's what, and I say kind of, made it believable. She went to hell. She was able to see hell, and there were different, like, the way she said it, there were fields and fields and fields, and then there was holes, and in those holes was each one individual, okay? And then there was flames coming out, and she said, I saw Michael Jackson, I saw Whitney Houston. She said, I saw all of Hollywood there.
Really?
Yes. She named all, look it up, Jamaican woman sees hell, because she has a very, very heavy accent. And when she's talking, she even sounds like she's crying. You know, so.
With like conviction.
With conviction, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was wild. Again, I don't know if this is true or if it's good acting. But me personally, if I had a view of the afterlife, would I go public with it? I don't know. But she did. They made a video of it.
I mean, there's a lot of, Christian people that have gone public with being able to get a glimpse of hell.
Right. Now, I'm going to share this with you guys, and I think this is worth mentioning. In the Bible, in scriptures, believers of the one true God are told you are not supposed to contact the dead. You are not supposed to pray to the dead. Let the dead be dead. You continue to go on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let the dead bury the dead.
Yeah, let the dead bury the dead. Today we have certain religions, not to mention any of them, that believe I can contact your brother, your sister, your mother, or whatever.
I'll mention it just because I got a question. I don't know if it is or isn't.
Right.
I'm claiming ignorance on it. Day of the Dead, is that the same kind of thing?
You know, growing up, and again, I started hearing that more maybe within the last 20 years of Day of the Dead. Growing up, I never really heard of that. It's like kind of growing up, I never referred to myself as a Chicano. I was always just a Mexican.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't like the 2000s that I started hearing Chicano this, Chicano that,
And now it's Latinx.
Yeah. Okay. So with me, I don't know too much about that. So I think it'll be kind of unfair to say, yeah, but I know it's a day of remembering the dead. I don't know if it's about talking to the dead. I don't know if I can go that far.
Okay.
Now, if there's somebody out there that can educate us when you call in, please let us know what it is about Day of the Dead. Let me ask you, Alice, do you know anything about the Day of the Dead?
He's like, well, I watch Coco.
Yeah. Okay, well, like I said, I don't know if it's communication or just in remembrance of them.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So, where was I going with this now? I forgot where I was going with this. We were talking about communicating, talking. Oh, yeah, certain religions that can talk to.
Oh, yeah, that's why I brought up
dead.
the question, yeah.
Now, I read a biography on Houdini, and I saw his movie with Tony Curtis, and Jamie Lee Curtis from
yeah, Michael Myers movies.
Yeah, that's her father, Tony Curtis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he played Houdini. Great movie. My father introduced me to him, not only to movies, music, but also to magic.
I love magic.
Look, it's funny. Music, movies, and magic. Wow, the 3 M's.
Wow. Three cubed.
Yeah. So
stupid joke.
You ever get a chance, check out Houdini, played by Tony Curtis. Anyways, in that movie, they took a little bit from the biography that his mother died, and he wanted to reach his mother. he thought because he can escape from everything, he can also like creep into the afterlife. So he would go after seance to seance after seance after seance, and this is in his biography. And he couldn't reach his mother. He found out that a lot of these seances were fake. Now, before he died, he told his loved ones, I'll come back. I'll find a way. I'll come back, because he escaped from everything. So he thought that somehow he can beat death and come back. Well, guess what? I'm sorry, Houdini's not back. You know, it has been appointed for man to die once, then comes the judgment.
Do you think it'll be possible to download people's consciousness into a hard drive via AI?
I don't know. Why would you want to?
I don't know.
You know, I think it was my brother that told me that now pretty soon you're going to be able to record your dreams. I don't want to see my crazy sick dreams again, bro.
I might, because I don't remember them when I wake up.
Okay, I don't.
And I know a lot of you guys don't either. I'm like, the people that remember it are like, they're not normal. That's a different kind of thing.
Okay, now, but let me tell you this. The dream about Steve. I don't need to see that again, bro.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine if you can actually like
come on,
put it on a playback.
Let me go ahead and play it
and it's just playing on a projector.
And then you tell me that was your dream? Yeah. You know, no, I don't want. That's weird, bro. So,
that's weird.
That's freaky.
Freaky tales.
On the Day of the Dead, Tony,
Go ahead.
it says that it's celebrated from the 31st of October all the way to November 2nd, and that it honors deceased loved ones by celebrating their lives and welcoming their spirits for a brief reunion rather than mourning them.
Okay, see, my thing is this. This is where I'm afraid when it comes to spirits, okay? Because I believe that those spirits have moved on.
Yeah.
Okay? Whatever spirits you're invoking or inviting in, I don't believe that that's them. That's just me. Other people could say, no, Tony, they're wandering spirits. Maybe they didn't know that they died. Maybe they're still here and they're trying to communicate. They're trying to make it home. Maybe they're in purgatory. Look, that's cool if you believe that. I'm not going to knock that or argue or debate with you on that. But I'm not going to say, my brother Mario, please come visit me. I miss you. Yes, I do miss him. Yes, I do love him. But I don't know what's going to come through those doors when I open that portal.
Yeah, bro.
You know, just because he says, it's me, Mario.
So you think it's an imposter?
Always.
Of what?
A demon. That's just me. You don't necessarily believe it. Now, I know some people can say, no, I had my father come visit me. I had my brother come visit me. And I'm not knocking that. I'm talking about myself. That's what I believe.
Hey, didn't on The Exorcist, one of the spirits was pretending to be the guy's mom? Or some, like one of the spirits that had entered.
Yeah.
It was pretending to be like people that he knew.
Right.
That were dead already.
Remember, the priest was there, and then Reagan, which is Linda Blair, the exorcist. Remember, she was calling Timmy. Why you do this to me, Timmy? Yeah, and in the mom's voice.
Alien?
Yes, and the other priest would always tell him, don't listen to him. Because the demon inside of Reagan in the movie, she wasn't saying we're a legion, like we're multiple. She was saying, I am the devil. And the priest told the parents, she's not claiming she's demon possessed. She's claiming she's the devil himself. Okay? So this devil was able to change the voice and mess with his mind. And the priest said, he's going to talk to you. Do not listen. And in the mom's voice, please untie me. Please. Please. And then he started freaking out. You're not my mother.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah. So that's a picture right there of you thinking you could reach out to a loved one and you not know what's going to come through. Or even if somebody told you right now, you could speak to them right now. We don't know if that's really them.
No, hell no.
So now, can you imagine you saying, okay, I need to speak to her or him again? What are you inviting in? Let me tell you guys a crazy...
well, because you said it. I mean, you can open a door, but you don't know who comes through it.
Right. I'll tell you a story. I was on MySpace 2006.
Damn.
That sounds like when the dinosaurs used to roam the earth.
Did you customize your page?
Always. And I had I had over 10,000 friends and 100,000 views
you
on
put
my
a top
mixtapes. What's that?
Did you put a top 8?
Top 8, yeah.
Hell yeah, dog.
So anyway, so here's what happened. Some fake page with Whitney Houston picture on there. Hi. And I like, hi. It was always inboxing me or DM or whatever you called it back then, messaging me, hi. So I finally said, who's this? And I went on this person's page. It looked somewhat like a fan page, but the name on there was Whitney Houston. Now, she was already dead. And her profile picture looked like she was in heaven. She had clouds and everything, like it was customized.
Like the T-shirts?
Yeah, so I just said, who's this? And he put Whitney.
Is it freaky? Did it kind of freak you out?
It did. Now,
Yeah,
first
that
and
would freak
foremost,
me
I
out.
don't believe in it.
Yeah.
But for people that have no hope, maybe it is her. Maybe it's her communicating through a computer. Just like AI communicates now.
You know who John, I'm always forget his last name, bro.
What are you laughing about over
at,
there?
bro? Because I'm short-circuiting over here?
Because this guy put Whitney Houston.
Oh, my God.
That's it. Sorry, man.
You broke Alex.
Tony got scammed.
Tony got scammed.
Yeah.
John McPhee, when you buy a computer or anything, you know, the McPhee antivirus?
Right.
Bro, so he passed away, right?
Okay.
And just recently, his Twitter page posted something.
Okay, see.
His Twitter page.
Okay.
And
see.
he's big advocate of like saying he's going to download his brain and stuff like that.
Okay. Now, were you going to say something, Alex?
No, a few people got hacked last week, actually.
Where?
On
Twitter?
on Twitter
Okay.
and Instagram.
Okay, so what happened was this person kept messaging me, but they weren't asking for anything like money or nothing. It was almost like, make sure you're a good person, Tony. You know, make sure, you know, you treat people right. And I'm like, who is this? This is Whitney.
Yeah, that's eerie, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but keep in mind, they were not asking like, click on this link or go here or send money here. Nothing. It was just like, how are you doing today? And I'm like, I'm doing fine, you know? And I like, where are you in the afterlife? You know, I could communicate with you here. After a while, I just blocked that page because it was coming to me like every day.
And it freaked you out.
It freaked
Don't
me
lie.
out. No, it did. I'm not lying. It did. Because once again, you would think immediately, if it's a scam, click on this link. Can you send me money here? Can you
Yeah.
send my family? Can you look? It was nothing. It was just they were looking to make conversation.
You know what I think about every so often that happened to me when I was younger?
What's that?
I have my email, right? And I was young. I was still a teenager. And I got an email from this person. And it said, it was just, I don't really remember the content of the email, but he was just like, hey, Ricky, how you doing? I said, who's this?
Yeah.
He goes, I can't tell you. I don't even know if it was a guy.
Right.
And then I'm like, I don't know who you are. Like, how did you get my email? He goes, you'll find out one day.
Yeah.
I deleted that email because it freaked me out.
Right. No, this was on MySpace. And then eventually I just got rid of MySpace and then I went ghost again. I only had MySpace because that was the year that I was DJ for Quick.
Okay.
And then I only needed that to promote my shows and
Shout out Quick.
So believe me, for
you,
over
DJ Quick.
10 years, I just went ghost. And that's why when I came back out and I started podcasting, people, the number one question, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Okay. But not knowing I was in the industry before they were probably born.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I do want to tell you this. I have no explanation for this, Rick. I don't know if it's something that my mind played over in my head. Okay. My mom used to leave voicemails on my answering machine. Remember those?
Mm-hmm.
So did my dad. When my mom passed away, I got rid of it because I know that I would go back and listen to it. So I just got rid of it. Now, people would have said, man, you could have had your mom's voice. You could have AI'd her to have a conversation. Why would I want to do that?
Yeah, that's kind of eerie. I don't know if I'd want to do that either.
Yeah. Okay. So the day of my mother's burial, we went to reviewing and then we went to bury her. I came home. My family came over and we had a meeting dinner here. Okay. I told my family, I'm going to go to the dollar store, get some plastic cups so you don't have to use the regular cups here. And as I'm leaving the house, I really don't want nobody here in my house. thinking, man, I gotta accommodate them for the next couple of hours or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm getting negative thoughts. Maybe I should just tell everybody to get out of here because I want to mourn by myself. Okay. And I heard my mother's voice, Rick. And again, I don't know if it's just something that my brain replayed because I've heard my mother say this before, but I heard it as if she whispered it in my ear. And she told me in Spanish, "Pórtate bien, Antonio. You better be good, Antonio. Behave yourself." And it freaked me out. I remember I came back in and I talked to my brother-in-law. I said, "Hey, can I talk to you outside?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "I was standing right here and I was about to cross the street and I was thinking these thoughts." And I said, "You're the only one that knows scripture like I do. I don't know if it supports it," which I doubt it. I said, "But I heard my mother's voice." And he said, "You never know, Tony." He said, "Maybe that's God talking to you, but using your mother's voice so you can accept it." And I said, "I know that's a stretch. I don't have nothing to back it up, but I heard my mother's voice." That was the only time that I've ever heard my mother's voice when I was, awake. She don't talk to me in the dreams.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So the last time you heard her voice, you were awake.
I was walking the streets and I was getting angry.
And you still dream to this day?
Yeah, of course.
And never a word.
Never a word. Yeah.
I mean, if what you're saying is, not that it's not true because you're saying it happened, but if it's actually like a thing that does happen,
yeah,
what a great thing to tell you as her last saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So for me, like, you know what that kind of like taught me? Like, okay, there's one part that I believe that the people that are in heaven are looking down at us. So I thought, I wonder if that was her opportunity. Maybe just God just said, "You'll listen to your mother here." I don't know if that's true or not. I don't have nothing to back it up, but I remember that was the only time that I've ever heard that, when I was awake. But anyways, Tony got the EBGBs. Yeah.
Heavy conversation this evening, guys.
Heavy. Tony has never heard or trauma because he's too manly. It has nothing to do with manly. It just has to do with things that I went through as a child. And people have always told me, "Oh, you need healing for that. You need to go see a psychiatrist." I don't need to see anybody.
Oh, he's saying you've never heard of trauma because you're too manly. He's saying you're machismo.
No, it's not that. I don't have a problem with saying this is true, this is not true, I was wrong. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah. And I don't think everything is a traumatic situation.
I want to say one thing and then we're going to go ahead and take the phone calls, okay? Now, where I gained my wisdom and knowledge from was from the scriptures. Okay. And that's no mystery. And I'm not trying to push religion because it's not a religious book. What I always had a problem with until it was clarified. You heard that King David was a man after God's own heart, right?
Yeah, and he was a screw up.
Right. But I finally found out why he was a man after God's own heart. When we talk about King David, the majority of the time, we talk about all the bad things he did.
Yeah.
Okay? But you know why he was a man after God's own heart?
Tell me.
Because he was quick to repent.
And it was genuine.
Yes, of course. It just wasn't, "Hey, my bad."
Yeah.
No, because he was quick he realized and recognized that he was wrong instead of living with it for years. Okay? Instead of living with it for years, he went ahead and made it right every time he messed up.
Wow.
Look, Rick, imagine that me and you bumped heads. Okay? And you feel that I was wrong. I feel that you were wrong. And we don't talk for months or maybe even years.
Yeah.
And let's just say one day we catch up and we start talking. And then after we talk, we find out that it wasn't really nothing.
Yeah, it was a misunderstanding.
Yeah. And then now we have to live with 5 years lost.
Yeah. And in between that, bitterness,
drunkenness, or whatever. Anything to numb the pain, probably calling up everybody that listens to you just so you can tell them your side of the story.
Yeah, I know. Just gossiping after that.
Yeah. This person did this person did this, and then doing nothing. Well, you know what I'll tell them? Go tell that person. Go talk to them.
I agree.
So let's not wait for them to no longer be here. and let's make things right. Even if it hurts you to say, I'm sorry. You know what I can't stand? When a person looks at me and tells me, my bad. No, say you're sorry, bro. If you're truly sorry, say you're sorry. Today, we traded in these words that I'm sorry, I apologize for my bad.
Yeah, my bad is just nonchalant. You trying to, it's your pride.
Today, the word making love does not exist. It's I'll hit.
There's a lot more than just that one, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony.
Toot it and boot it.
No, it's a smash, fool.
Yeah. Smash, fool.
Smish.
You know, whatever happened, let's be honest, to opening up the car door or a door for your woman.
I did it today. We went to Disneyland. It was a day with no kids.
What's wrong with still today buying your girl flowers? What's wrong with possibly, it might seem old, chocolates? What's wrong if you're into this? Next time you have dinner or next time you have lunch, grab your girl by the hands or grab your husband by the hands or your boyfriend and pray with him over the food. Okay?
Yeah, I pray over my food.
I think you should be a good example for your children. You know, that's just me, and it had nothing to do with Freaky Tales.
There was some freaky stuff in this episode to me.
I guess because there's a lot of freaky behavior out there.
Yeah,
we need
freakazoids out there.
Yeah, we need to at least set the standard for the next generation. But with that being said,
real quick, hit that like button because that helps the algorithm more than anything.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And give a follow if you don't follow.
Yes.
But that like button is what really bumps us up to the people that never heard of it.
Somebody said, Tony es romántico. Yes, I am a romantic guy. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay.
Tony walks around like this.
Yes. Okay. Alex, am I connected? Okay. Go ahead and put the phone up there. Okay. The phone number, go ahead and read it to the people. Here we go, right here. Oh, I know who this is. Caesar from Paris.
Is it him?
Tony, yay, Ricky, Jay.
What's up, big dog?
Caesar from Paris. What's up, man? What's up? Alex in the back, how you doing, my boy? How did transmission treating you?
Oh, great, man.
That's good, that's good. Blessings to everybody out there. Cool cup there, Tonio. I'm glad you didn't bring out the Cowboys cup, but I want to start this show on a bad note. Now, let's see here. I got a lot of notes. First of all, great podcast. I laughed. Caesar from Paris, ain't ashamed to say I shed a tear in a little bit, and I also got a little bit of angry. And another thing, second of all, shout out to all them disgusting ass pieces of garbage that like stealing kids in the woods or in stores, anywhere. Good looking out. Shout out to you guys, because I'll tell you one thing, the day that you step in a puddle of mud and you slip, Caesar from Paris is going to be there to pick you up and slice you from the back of your leg to the back of your neck. Now.
Allegedly.
There
you go. Yeah.
And all these other ham and eggers that like to cut off the balls of roosters and throw them on the floor of dice and try to live their life by that. Now, you're into numbers, you're into syncretism, gematria, numerology. It's all your thing. The thing is about this. How can you remember you're dead? Now, what I'm about to say, Tonio, first of all, to you, to all your loved ones, all the forgotten ones from all of us, I speak only out of respect and out of ignorance for not knowing. Remembering your mom, la jefita, and in general, all of us, Tony, but also, I believe, Tonio, wherever these people are, wherever our loved ones are, they feel something, just like how we feel our ears ringing. They feel something. We don't understand it, but we don't know where it's coming from. But you know what? When it does hit you, it hits you when you're in your new setting. You're maybe feeling overwhelmed. And then you get that feeling of calmness, smoothness, the feeling of your son, the feeling of your mother's warmth, your mother's love, your mother's telling you, Toño, pórtate bien. It overcomes their fear. It gives them brave to go on to wherever they're at. And vamos a hacer Dios, amen, to everybody out there that have loved ones. Caesar from Paris loves you guys. I'll keep telling you guys, time after time, we are more special than what we think. We are more special than when we think. The thing about this, Tonio, and your friend, okay? Only you know your friend. right? You know your friend. Everybody else that knows your friend knows them in a different way. So in your mind, in your conscience, when you have a heartfelt conversation with him, it's coming from a high vibration. And guess what? That high vibration, you're giving it to him in the words, they're in heaven because they were your good friends and you think highly of them. That's why when you say they look down upon us because they're up in our conscience in heaven. When we remember somebody and it goes, that guy was a dirty vato. You know why? Because he's in hell. Because we're putting them there in our conscience. Jesus from Paris loves everybody. I don't want to take too much time, Tonio, and I'm very sorry. I'm not saying all of this in my alien voice because I want everybody to take this serious.
Right.
The sun raises because we all together believe it's going to raise. You better start thinking. We are all most high, all of us. Be careful. Take care of your kids. Put this on a toll. Ricky J., I mentioned you have kids. All blessings and health to them.
Thank you, sir.
So I ask you this. Thank you, my friend. Tonio, I ask you this. Your grandchildren, would you leave? Would you leave where you lost your child? Would you leave? Would that man ever leave that campsite where he lost his kid? Would you ever leave that J.C. Penney's where you lost your kid? Would you ever leave it? Do you have the balls to walk away knowing that your kid was at back? Caesar from Paris. And about.
That was a good question, though.
Yeah, I would never leave.
Yeah, it'd be hard to.
I would never leave. So
That's be the worst kind of closure you could ever get.
yeah, to go home and what do you tell your family? We couldn't find them.
Oh yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't imagine.
No, I'm not coming home, pal.
Dude, I'm a sniper when I'm out with my kids.
Yeah,
I'm looking everywhere.
And the sad thing is that you got a lot of sick people that get off on harming children.
Yeah.
So, here we go.
And there's
Call it your name and where are you calling from?
What's up, family? It's the brother from Stockton.
What's up, my brother from Stockton? How you doing tonight?
Excellent, brother. Man, this episode's dope, man, because it reminded me a lot of like my mom, Tony. My mom about 5 years ago in I want to be at January 6th of 2019, brother. That'll probably be about 6 years now. But she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and at the time, brother, I was over at Job Corps. You know, I was out there learning a trade, and my aunt calls me up and says, "Hey, come down when you can. Come down to your hometown, and because your mom's in the hospital." And so, man, brother, like she said, just come down. I'll tell you more about it when you get here, but just pray. So I was on my way, brother, and she told me that. So I was just praying, brother, you know, and I got there and I spent time with my mom. But man, my mom, man, brother, like it just happened so fast because I believe my mom, she already had it for years, but she was out on the streets, you know, making some bad choices and like on drugs. So I believe like she did know, or maybe she knew that she had cancer, but she didn't want to like scare anybody or like cause like, you know, like scare me. But I was like, man, like mom's really kept it from us because she had to have known, you know.
Right.
And yeah, so it like happened so quick, brother. Like, man, it's just crazy how it happened. She just left within like 2 weeks, brother. I was with her. I got to Stockton, and I saw her at the hospital, and I was there with her next to her, and like, man, she just looked like the whole thing was just. She was already at I believe like they told her she didn't have she didn't have much, so they sent her over to hospice, brother, and within like a week she passed, and I saw her take her last breath and her lips turn blue, and like she took that last gasp, and the last person she looked at was me, brother, you know, and so like it just happened so quick, man, and man, so like this episode, it just reminds me of like visions I've had of where she's been. Sometimes, brother, like if I think hard enough, I'll start to overthink. I'm an overthinker oftentimes, brother. So, you know, I'll still kind of like ask myself, you know, what we're like, where she's really, where she's at, because I tell everybody, she made it because I shared the gospel. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. So I shared the gospel with her on her deathbed, but she did, brother, she did live a life of sin, and she did make a lot of bad choices. I'm not saying, we all make mistakes, but she did make bad choices. She was a heavy drinker, and she was she was a drug user. She was homeless for a while, and she was out on the streets right before death too. Like weeks before death, brother, she was still out there on the streets, using meth, and so like, but I love my mom because, if there was one person who would take off and who was ready to go, about me, brother, if I ever had problems with somebody, brother, so, she was always ready to go, but man, like this episode, brother, it really, like, I remember one time I had, like, I don't know if it was a dream or a vision, but I did imagine my mom having like a white dress and having like gold bracelets and like some gold around her feet and around her waist. So I don't know if that was like a vision from God that she's in heaven.
Right.
But I really do hope that she did make it, brother, because like I said, it was a deathbed. It was a death. I hope it was a deathbed salvation, because she was conscious and she was awake, but she was in so much pain. They had to keep her on like this medicine, and all she did was sleep, brother. But she did talk to me, but she was such a strong woman, Tom.
Right.
Where like even she was dying, bro, but she was still like regañándome, bro. She was still telling me like, oh, like, are you behaving? Are you being good? Are you messing around with girls out there? Are you doing what you're supposed to? And she was still trying to like discipline me and still trying to like be a mother, even while she was dying, which is crazy, man. And like, she kept on telling me like, I love this boy right here next to me. And man, brother, but it's just crazy how like everything happens so fast, man. And I always like, I do oftentimes find out that when I forget about her, because I can go so long, because I got a daughter now, and I named my daughter after her. Her name is Emma.
Okay.
And I named my daughter after mom's, bro. And I can go through life like, being so busy and caught up with like being a dad and working. But it's just so crazy, you guys, that I have a dream about mom right before her birthday, bro. So it's like, I don't know whether it's her or God that's reminding me, hey, like, remember your mom. Don't forget about your mom,
Right.
It's crazy, bro.
All good, my brother.
Crazy, but hey, what do you guys think about that?
I really don't have an answer for that, because I don't even have an answer for mine experiences.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
Yeah. But we know what, bro? We reached the 5-minute mark, my bro.
And I'm sorry to hear about your mother passing, for what it's worth, brother.
Likewise.
God bless you.
It's all good. Yeah, God bless, bro. Good episode.
All good, my brother. Thank you for calling in and sharing that.
Keep calling.
Okay. I don't like to cut people off like that, but I believe he got to the his point.
It was touching story, man.
It is, and it's hard, but
it's heavy.
We want to keep the phone lines open. So if you guys want to call in and share either a freaky story or just you want to share something, call it your name and where are you calling from?
What up, Tony? This is Jose from Yuma, Arizona.
Jose, how are you?
Good, man. So I have a creepy little, well, not creepy, but it was a mind-blowing story. So I went to this, I don't know if it was like a spiritualist or like if it was like some type of like medium or something. He wasn't a brujo or he wasn't a curandero.
Okay.
But he did some type of like,
Right.
He did the reading with the cards and he did some other stuff. Well, anyways, I got a reading from him. I got this cleansing from him, whatever, right? But then he told me, he's like, hey, there's a message for you from a relative that passed away. I see a woman that's old, very, very old, with white hair. My mom was with me too. And my mom's like, okay. And he's like, this lady's very small, and kind of like morenita. Like, like Morenita.
Right.
And that's how my great grandma was. So this dude gets a paper, the lights are off, and there's only one candle on, like one of those big white candles. He gets the paper and he starts to write with the flame of the candle, with the light of the candle. He starts writing, and he has his eyes closed, and he's just, you know, running this paper over this candle, and then turns it around. And in cursive, there's a full letter, bro, written in cursive.
Okay.
And it was like, on there it says, "Hola, soy tu abuelita Lupita." And I'm like, holy. It was my great grandma. Like, and they said a message on there.
Can you translate that for the people that don't speak Spanish or understand it?
I'm sorry?
Can you translate that for those that don't speak Spanish or understand it?
Oh, yeah. So on the paper, it was a full letter in cursive written by the candle. This dude had his eyes closed, and he was writing the letter, you know, with the candle. So on the letter, it said, "Hi, hello, this is your great grandma, Lupita. I have a message for you."
Wow.
And I won't say the message because it's a little long, but
Right.
my mind was blown, bro. This dude supposedly took out some black larva that I had in my stomach. He gave me some water with vinegar, and it made me throw up, dude. That shit made me throw up.
Mm.
And it threw up in a white bucket, and he placed me right in front of a statue of San Judas Tadeo, St. Jude.
Right.
And I threw up, bro. And when I threw up this black freaking larva, dude. Like this weird looking larva.
Hmm.
It was
crazy,
black,
bro.
huh?
Crazy.
Did he tell you what that
It
was?
black. It looked like he said it was a black larva, like due to like when somebody does some like witchcraft, some black witchcraft on you. Sometimes they send you black larvas to your body, abdomen mostly.
Okay.
That comes when somebody gives you
like puts a spell
curse,
on you, like a
food.
curse. Okay.
Yeah, through food. Yeah,
Okay.
through food.
Okay.
Like, through anything. Yeah.
Okay. Press pause right there. I'm going to share something with you. About 3 years ago, I had a woman that contacted me through Instagram and told me the same story, that her boyfriend had did something like that to her. So she went in to find somebody to cure her. In Spanish, we would say curandero or something like that. Somebody that cures you, okay? And that she threw up something similar to that.
So I've heard
it was
multiple
crazy.
stories of people throwing up black,
Right.
just black.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, man. Some black witchcraft stuff right there, bro. You know, I won't take up too much time, bro, but I got stories, bro. I always call in.
Keep
and
calling
I got
back.
stories,
Calling,
for
bro.
days.
Yeah, keep
Okay.
calling.
Hey, you know what? I wanted to ask you.
You guys, have a good night.
Hey, really quick, because you always get through, and I don't want people to think that you have an insight on, on my number. How many times did you call before you got on?
I called twice.
Okay, so you got on. All right. All right, because people have called and they said I've called like 20 times.
Yeah,
and couldn't get in.
Was it Norby's one of them?
Yeah, that's a guy.
Norby's.
I got on.
All right, all good, my bro. Thank you. You have a blessed night, homie. All right, peace.
Thank you.
From Yuma, Arizona. Okay, let's keep. Now the phone lines are now open. Now call. There you go. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Tony? This is JC. Right now, I'm right here at Fullerton.
JC?
Yes, sir.
All right, how you doing, my bro?
I'm right here. I'm good, brother. Right here, working, driving.
Hardly working or working hard?
Well, I'm a truck driver, bro, for UPS. So I'm just right here, just to help real quick.
All good, man.
Listening to your podcast, bro, like I do every Sunday. Hey,
Thank
bro,
you.
I have a question real quick. See if you can answer this. I heard you talking about King David earlier.
Yes.
I have a question. Recently I tried to buy a Bible, right?
Yeah.
And I was talking to a cousin about it, and he told me, just don't buy a King James version. I'm like, why? He's did you know that guy
Good
was
question.
homosexual and and he killed his father. He killed his mother for her throne, or he, you know. So it's like I googled it because I didn't really believe him. I'm like, what do you mean he killed his mother, and he was homosexual? So why would you buy that Bible? You know what I mean? Why would you support that? So I started googling it, and yeah, like it talks about that.
Okay.
Do you know anything about that, Tony?
Caller, I want to ask you a question, okay? Just tell me yes or no.
All right.
Did King James write the Bible?
No, he didn't.
No, but people always say that about him. He was a homosexual. He also wrote a demonic book. He also this. King James did not write the Bible.
He just translated it.
He had it, and it wasn't even him. He had it translated.
Oh, that's
all.
right. Yeah. That's
it
true.
wasn't even him. He just had it translated.
Okay.
That's it. But anyway, if you're looking for a good study Bible, I'm going to tell you this. Go to Nelson's Study Bible, New King James. The New King James just takes out the these, the thous, the nays, and all that other stuff. So Nelson's Study Bible, New King James Version, and that's a good study Bible, bro. So don't listen to these people. But I'm glad you looked it up. I'm thankful that you looked it up and that you called and asked me, because you know what? If I claim to study, I better have an answer.
Yeah.
Okay? But no, King James did not write the Bible. So.
Okay, thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
All good,
I
man.
have a little story to tell you. One day, I went out on a date with some girl, right? I was over at the Queen Mary.
Yeah.
And it's a trip because all the way in the top floor, I was walking and I was with that girl, and all of a sudden, I looked to my right side, and I seen there was like you know, back in the day when they were the women wore like these long dresses, and guys who were like with little hats and all that. Well, I seen like old people like dressed like there was like a laundry room there. They were like working, and I just like dozed off looking at them, and I never realized that it wasn't like people there. Because after I went to the Queen Mary, and there was nothing in that room.
Right.
And I was just tripping out, like, man, I think I saw some ghosts or something there, because it's the way I seen the fast movement there, the way they were moving like it was like a laundry room there.
You said we're at the Queen Mary?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, bro. That's supposedly it's one of the most haunted places in America.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
He sounds
Yeah,
worried.
I just remember looking. I just remember looking at that room, and I seen a lot of movement, and there was just like people there, but like dressed up as like the old days, and they were like doing like laundry. And I just remember when I looked at them, I like kind of dozed off just looking at them, and I never even saw that girl I was with, you know. And it was just a trippy thing that happened.
Okay, that was pretty trippy. Oh, good, man. Thank you for sharing that, man, and thank you for asking that question.
Oh, stateroom B340 is widely considered the most haunted room on the Queen Mary.
Okay. There
So
you
go
go.
see it. Go inside and tell me what you see.
Oh wow! All right, I'll see.
All good, my bro. Thank you for calling in, man.
All right, guys.
Okay, brother.
All right, brother. Have a good
night,
weekend.
guys. Thank you.
Okay, go back to your YouTube. I'm going to show you something.
Okay.
Do you ever go here?
No.
Okay, go to all messages. Okay? Now, even change the number up there.
Oh, wow.
Okay, you guys, the phone lines are open. We got about 20 more minutes. Let's try to get at least 4 or 5 more phone calls. Here we go. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, my name is Angel, calling from the San Fernando Valley.
Angel from the San Fernando. You sound familiar. You sound like you've called before.
Yeah, I'm actually a frequent caller,
Oh, good.
and that's because Tony, you have some on Freaky Tales podcast. You have some good, interesting topics that your viewers could relate to, and even us in the chat.
Thank you.
No?
That's the goal.
Yeah, and thank you for taking my call, and I want to give a shout out to Ricky J there.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Okay. So as far as the poll question, if we would talk to one of our deceased loved ones, and I'm one of those that answered 40% yes.
Okay.
And yeah, and reason why is actually foremost I want to say that as far as can we speak to a deceased loved one, I don't know. I want to make that clear. Foremost, I don't know because, that's on the other side. That's like the supernatural world. And I could only go by what I see with my eyes physically in flesh. But to answer the question for tonight, I would do it. First of all, I didn't do anyone wrong that has passed away or anyone. So that's like out the window. That's like that question's out the window. So, but I will do it for, make a long story short, closure.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I want to say that, in my case, I would like to say that I regret not spending more time with them, visiting them more, and that happens for whatever's is going on in one's personal life, that you don't go visit a loved one that you love them. Yeah. So that's what I want to say. And why? Because, there's an old saying, what is it? See you at the crossroads.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. But okay. But that could be years in between.
Yes.
And why instead of waiting years, whether it's 5, 10, 15, 20 years, why wait until then, which I would like to, hopefully, but when I could just do it now, when I could just speak now and speak to you later and maybe in between too. So that's why I would do it. Make a long story short for closure.
Okay. That's a good reason, man. You know what? Why go on years?
Yeah.
Let me share with you.
Yeah, because
let me share with you something that happened to me as a young boy in my 20s. Okay. I did business with somebody in the music industry, and this guy pretty much robbed me. Okay. I brought him in to this deal. I did. I chose him, and I said, I want you to be a part of this. As soon as he got in, I gave him my contact to my business person that was going to offer this much money, and he pretty much became friends with them and cut me out. Okay. I was set to make about $25,000 legit in music. Mm-hmm. Okay. He just kept everything. And I'll be honest with you, I hated that guy for about 10 years. Honestly, I hated that guy. Every time his name would pop up, I'd want to kill that dude. Until finally, I just let it go so that I can have my peace, because I didn't have peace.
Yeah.
And I finally approached him, and he just told me, "You're right. I went ahead and took the deal, but it was him that cut you out, not me." He said, "And I can prove it to you." And I said, "He used you to get a hold of me, and then he cut you out." He said, "And maybe I should have told you, but I didn't." He said, "And I can prove it to you." And I just said this: "No, we'll just leave it there." Now, my whole point in sharing that is that I could have found out that earlier. I could have found out the truth earlier, but I just held on to my bitterness.
You're mad at the wrong guy for 10 years.
For 10 years. Yeah. So it's better to get clarification as soon as you can and, live in peace.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Tony, as far as that experience you had business-wise, I'm glad you learned the power of forgiveness. It is powerful, man.
Absolutely. It sets you free. It truly does.
The truth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, my brother.
There you go. Yeah. One last thing I would like to say. A couple quick things, very quick. As far as contacting a deceased loved one through AI, I wouldn't, because AI is not real. So it's not like you're really speaking with your deceased loved one. AI is something else, Yeah. And another thing I would like to say, as far as your poll question or as far as the topic tonight, there is a 1990s film movie called Ghost with Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore.
Yes.
And that movie basically is it's about what your topic is tonight, where there's the Whoopi Goldberg could speak, contacting a deceased loved one. Mm. You know what I'm talking about.
Of course. It's a great movie.
I've never heard of it.
No, you have to see it, because let me tell you something. When people die in that movie, the heavens open up and they get taken up. When people die and they were bad people, you see the demons come and get them. Mm-hmm. You have to see it.
Yeah.
Ghost
with Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore, Whoopi Goldberg, before she was on The View.
Well, The View's gone.
Thank God.
Thank God. For real.
Yeah.
Okay, my bro. Thank you, man. Appreciate you calling in.
And she's
Thank
not
you for
Whoopi
taking my
Goldberg.
call. Yeah, thank you for taking my call, Tony. Shout out to Ricky J. Shout out to Alex.
Thank you,
And
sir.
shout out to everyone in the chat. All right, guys, have a good night.
You too.
Have a good night, man.
Ghost, you gotta check it out, bro.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I've never heard of it.
There's
No.
a page that calls her Whoopi Gold Turd.
Dude, she's a predator.
So did they cancel it or what happened?
Yeah, I think they canceled it.
Good. That show should have been out of here a long time ago. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
Caller.
Hey, Tony.
Yeah, your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, Tony. Marcos from Reno, Nevada.
Marcos, how are you doing
What's
tonight?
up, Marcos?
I just want. We're doing. I'm doing good, brother. Right here with the family. We were just. We didn't get to catch the full show. We caught the last one with Mr. D. I really love your show, man. I'm a big fan, and I just want to say shout out from Reno, Nevada, and just keep doing your thing. And I think I caught the last caller saying something about AI, talking to like the
Yeah.
PCs. Nah, I wouldn't do it either. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. You're setting yourself up,
Yeah.
man. But yeah, man, thank you
I
for
wouldn't do that, man.
thank you for calling in, bro. Appreciate that.
I appreciate you, man, and keep your head up. Keep doing what you're doing. 28, and man, from Reno, Nevada, you already know.
All good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. We got time for maybe 2-3 more phone calls if they're quick like that. Here we go. Caller, your name and where are you calling from?
What's up, Big Tony? This is Leo calling from H-Town, Texas. Come on us.
What's up, my brother? How you doing tonight, man? For calling us from Texas. Right now it's about 11:48 over there, huh?
H-Town, is that Hurston?
Yes, sir.
Houston.
Yes, sir. H-Town, Big Bay, Houston. Yes, sir. What's going on, Ricky? How are y'all tonight?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good, brother. I was calling because, what's it called? So, I overheard a guy earlier. He was talking about how he had a witchcraft done to him.
Oh yeah,
And, so briefly, kind of briefly, but so my story starts, it was about 2 years ago, right around this time, 2 years ago. And I was working with a guy. He was from Laredo. Laredo's border town. Well, no, his girlfriend was from Laredo, I'm sorry. And one day we were at work, and I gravitated towards the dude because, you know, I was in a leadership role, and I was at the point where I wanted to really bless him with knowledge and see him do good, because he mentioned to me he had a lot of a criminal history, and, you know, I just wanted to see him make it. So one day he starts mentioning that, hey, do you know about brujas and this and that? And I was like, yeah, man, my grandma, she was a bruja. Y pues empezamos la plática, and we got into it, whatever. So later on, a lot of bad stuff started happening to me. I moved out of my house, and I stayed in a motel. And when I was staying in a motel, a whole lot of crazy shit was happening to me. So I was like, okay, this ain't right. My ex, she started talking to another man, and, you know, all that happened. So I start feeling weak in the knees, and I called somebody, bro. I called a curandera on the phone, because she was, you know, reviews were well on her, honestly. And I called her, and she's like, hey, look, somebody did something to you. You need to act fast, whatever. So then I leave, bro. I leave, and a girl that I had, she was a girl that I was talking to while me and my ex were going through things. The lady told me, she's like, hey, there's 2 women in your life. One of them's gone, and the other one will be gone soon. So anyways, I go up north. My mom lives up there. I'm working. I go to a curandero. And while I'm going to the curandero, he tells me, hey, look, man, there's a block in your life. Somebody fed you something. And I immediately remembered the day where that guy told me, he's like, hey, man, my wife made some tacos. You want to try a taco? And me, I'm living in a motel, bro. I'm going through one of the worst times of my life. And I remember one day he screenshotted a picture of me on Snapchat, and it all hit me later on. And then so I go to the guy. I'm working with him, and he tells me, he's like, look, man, this is getting out of hand. He's like, I'm going to be honest with you. It's inside of you. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you were fed something. So then I start, we do our little ritual or whatever. He tells me, hey, look, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. I would even take a shower with canela, like with cinnamon and things like that. He had me do a bunch of stuff. And then
So the last day of the ritual, he tells me, hey, look, I need you to take a gallon of water and bring it over here. So I drink the gallon of water. He's like, I need you to puke this out. So when I puke it out, I'm at the end and I can't get nothing out. So the end, I finally pop something out. And I just remember saying, what the fuck? I looked down and I seen like a ball or something dark. And I remember the first day he told me, he's like, you have 4 of them inside of you.
Wow.
So I look and he has a little fork, and on the fork, he moves it and it opens up in the shape of a spider with legs.
Wow.
And it was like, it was kind of moving. So I was like, oh my God. So I started, man, I'm worrying, bro. So he calls me and he tells me, we got to get this done. And I go back. He tells me, look, you can't puke the rest of these out. He does a ritual on me, bro. I'm laying down, God honest truth, bro. Like he does something on my stomach and he's like, lo vamos a quemar. We're going to burn it. So he's like, look, bro, we're going to burn it. And when we burn it, you're going to see, when you go to the restroom, you're going to see ashes. Sure enough, bro, after everything, dog, like the next 2 days, I was shitting out ashes, bro. Like I couldn't believe it, bro. And after that, I just,
wow,
everything changed. But,
did he say, bro, how you got that? Was it just a spell or was it something that somebody gave you to eat?
Yeah, he said that the person had a lot of me tenía envidia, and the person was
in other words, he was
jealous. Me
jealous.
something. He said you.
Envidia.
Yeah. He's like, he was jealous, and which is crazy because when I left the company, I walk up and I had got him moved to another department to help him out, but he was on drugs and shit. He didn't really care, bro. So I look, bro, and before I'm leaving, and I know this was God telling me like, hey, this is who did it. I go to my old department supervisor and I see him talking to the supervisor trying to get back to where I was at so he could like try to take my spot. So yeah, I was fed that, bro. He said that it was something that was brought up from del panteón, from a cemetery, dirt from a cemetery.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So it was pretty much meant to kill you or just to curse you?
Both. I think it was meant to if in time deteriorate everything inside of me.
Wow.
So like, yeah, it was that.
All that because of a hater.
No, it's true. It's true.
All that because, yeah.
All good, my bro. Thank you for calling in, bro. I truly appreciate that.
Hey, man. Yes, sir. Saludos.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Peace.
Have him showering with cinnamon.
Okay, that was our last call right there.
Walking around smelling like a fresh batch of horchata.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to share something about that, okay? I've heard those kind of stories for a long time, and there's got to be some type of truth to it, obviously, because these many people that don't even know each other are experiencing pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So my thing is like, obviously, all 3 of them tonight said that they were given something to eat.
Yeah.
Okay, my thing is this. Honestly, be careful who feeds you.
And maybe pray over your food.
Of course, of course. But that's the thing that like, I remember one time, this one older lady didn't like me. She lived across the street from me, and I found out later on she was a witch. And she had said, watch what's going to happen. One day you're going to eat something and it's going to poison you. And I said, and I know who's going to do it. It's going to be you.
The witch told you that?
Yeah, she told me that. And then you know what I said? And I like lemon meringue pie. So make sure when you bake one, because I'm going to pray over it. I'm going to eat it all up. I never got the meringue pie.
She never gave you the pie?
No, she never did. But because she knew I was up on game.
She knew it was a waste of ingredients.
Well, she knew I was up on game. I told her I'm going to pray over it. I said, you got no power here, Satan. You came to the wrong house. So
it was your neighbor?
Somebody lived across the street.
Wow.
Yeah, some fat ass Mexican lady. So if you're watching, I'm still waiting for my lemon meringue pie.
I like the way you held the F because you were indecisive on whether or not you wanted to say it.
Yeah. Now, you know what? Now, I'm going to tell you guys out there that are watching, I had all the witches that I've interviewed here.
Yeah.
All of them have told me that there's been some people that have tried to put a curse on you. You go, but it doesn't work. There's just something about you that it just doesn't work. And I say, you know why? Because I pray. All of them, and they don't even know each other.
Power in prayer.
Yeah. I had rock altars in front of my house. I had dead birds' heads thrown over my fence. Okay. A butchered cat. to somebody sacrifice.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. And ¿sabes por qué? Por envidia. For jealousy. Plain and simple. Put it this way. The devil, whoever it is, can try whatever they want. Okay? But one thing about me, that I pray over my home. I pray over my children. I pray over my grandkids. I pray over myself. And you know what? It's going to come.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. So once again, if you
It's
want
inevitable.
Yeah, if you want to cook something for me, go ahead.
Hell yeah. I'll watch Chile for me.
Yeah, there you go.
You know how to
Okay.
cook it? Just mix it up and give it to me.
I would say curse him or curse this. Oh, yeah, curse this. That's funny. Okay, Alex, you got anything over there for us? Okay. Oh, yeah. Tony, you need to hang around, what is it?
Fewer.
Cali fools. I actually don't hang around nobody.
We have
I hang around with children all day, and they're mine.
we have
Before
one.
you guys try to be weird.
We
Go
have
ahead.
one super chat. Lisa Duran dropped $4.99. She said, "Touching episode."
Thank you, Lisa.
you.
Yes, it sometimes these are hard to get through because we all have loved ones, you know. And the older you get, obviously, you have older family members that have passed on, you know. So it's hard, but I think it was necessary because, look, whatever it may be, if you need to get closure with someone, do it now. Don't wait till later.
Yeah,
You know.
man. Just don't be bitter. Bitterness is just
Look, let's be honest, Rick. If you allow bitterness in your heart, in your life, in your mind, whatever, physically, it can harm you as well.
yeah. It'll make you deteriorate.
Yes, it truly, truly will. It will make you an ugly person. So be quick to get rid of it, okay? Because let me tell you something. Imagine year after year after year after year, what a horrible person you will become.
Yeah, and honestly, it's not an easy task. We're not saying it like it's easy.
No.
I mean, you heard his story. He held on to it for 10 years.
10 years.
You know what I mean? So it's not an easy thing, but it's the right thing, and it's going to keep you alive, honestly.
Right.
Because, like I said, for the people in the back, bitterness is like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies.
All good. Rick, shout outs.
Shout outs, beautiful wife, 4 lovely children. I love you all. And I think my mom and dad were watching, so I love you guys too, if you are.
Yeah. All good. Okay, everybody. First and foremost, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys didn't get a chance to check out my last episode of Mr. D, make sure you guys check it out. He got a reading. He shares it, and it was pretty interesting. Tonight was very interesting. It was also very touching. I got to share things that I've never shared before about my family. I like to try to be very transparent. And look, let me tell you something. The older you get, you got to let go of certain things. Okay, make things right with the right people. Even if you don't want to, but you know it's right, do the right thing. Okay. Other than that, your loved ones are now gone. I don't believe that there's a phone for you to reach them. I know there's people that will take your money and say I can contact them. Don't believe them. That's just me. Okay. Other than that, I want to thank everybody on the live chat, everybody who decided not to be on the live chat, everybody who liked, commented, subscribed, shared, hit the like button, disliked, whatever. Thank you. Here's somebody that just dropped $5. Let me go ahead and read this and we're out of here. It says, brother, sell me a poster from the WSS event with Mr. Cartoon. I'll send you some money for it, family. Look, if I could do that, I will. Reach out to me on Instagram, either on the Freaky Tales podcast on Instagram or my Tony A. The Wiz on Instagram. I'm rarely ever on Facebook. I just post and I get out. Instagram, 95% of the time, I'm active. So reach me there. Let me know. But yes, I will be spinning. For those of you that don't know what that is, I will be DJing at the Mr. Cartoon event. It's going to be a family event. It's only 3 hours from 7 to 10. The flyer is on my Instagram. I will be posting it again later. But you have to RSVP. It's a free event. But even if you RSVP and it's a huge event, you're not guaranteed entrance because there's going to be thousands of people there. So
I'll be there.
I'll definitely be there because I'm DJing. And for those of you guys that have never seen me DJ, you're going to see that night.
You used to DJ, huh?
Good night.
Smash the like button.
you.